So I just looked back at my first take of recording this and realized, holy crap, that was super boring. I just yapped for 9 minutes. So hopefully this take will be a lot better. Welcome back. If you saw the last video, you know what this is, but if you haven't seen the last video, I have built this little 3x3 control panel thing. I hit a button, the block moves. And the fun part about it is you can move it wherever the heck you want from wherever the heck it is. And all of that is done with this mechanism behind me. I'm going to hit another button, take a close look at those blocks. As you can notice, they are changing, like some are appearing, some are disappearing, and that, I call those the switches by the way, those are what keep track of where that block is. It's like a sort of memory thing. So, if you've seen the last video, a lot of this is like the exact same, just on a bigger scale. If you don't feel like watching it, timestamp in the top left, skip to there, and I will explain the color coding stuff, because also a lot of you have seen the last video would know that last time I had this, it was just a big, like 5 glass platforms with all of these command blocks on it. Broke it down because major pain in the butt to work around, and so now we have this, the color coding and also coordinate grid, which I kind of abandoned. Now, on to the explanation. In each section, we have 6 switches, technically 12, but they're in pairs. I realized later I could have stacked these on top of these and made it actual 6, but hindsight is a bitch. So we have 12. We look, this section, all it does is just move the block from one slot to the next. This section is the real meat and potatoes. This is what controls all the other switches. So, for example, we have, not for example, that's for a later part. So you can see whenever you put that there and you saw the block switching, that's basically just, like if I activated this, this is what tells the other blocks, okay, open and close, so we can keep track of where that is. So I'll actually show it real quick. Like we have, if you look here, this is like set block sandstone, that's closing one of the switches, set block air, that's opening one of them, and you know, this is just air, like gray wool to move that. Pretty nifty, pretty neat, you know, the 4 sections for the 4 movements. And now we can move on to explaining the color coding. The color coding made this so much easier, I tell you. Oh my goodness, it is a breeze now. So okay, actually over here, this is like each block on that board is associated with a color, and those colors can be found on these little bits. So as you can see, down, if you were to go down in any spot, there are 6 given spaces that you can go down to. These 6 colors, and then you can't go down to these ones because the block cannot be on top of. I forgot to show that off earlier, actually. You literally just cannot move the block off the board, because if you look like up and left, all the switches are closed, up, all the switches are, that's right. I thought I'd have a heart attack. Up, all the switches are closed. So, if you look down, 6 colors for the 6 movements, and then up, 6 colors, 6 movements, and yada yada, just like that. And then over here, we have the open and close. It's categorized into 2 parts. I'm going to go to the one that's open, actually, for an easier explanation. We have black is close, white is open. So, this basically just means close magenta, close lime. Close magenta and close lime, that's what it means. And the best part about it is, you would think like, okay, magenta and lime, but there's so many of these, how do I know what to close? If you look at the board, you'll know you're at the top left. If you look at the top left, lime is down and magenta's to your right. So like, okay, down, lime, I close that. And then you go over to the right one, right, magenta, you close that. And it works the same exact way for seeing what you open. Because if you look, you open purple, cyan, and red. And you know, okay, if I do this, I'm going down, I'm going to be there. Purple is up, cyan is right, red is down. So then you look, down, red, open that up. And then, you know, you don't have to do the rest. You understand it already. I'm sorry if that, like, a lot of this doesn't make too much sense, because this is just, like, I don't do a script with these. I just kind of hit record, and then I freeball it, and we see where we land. And if we get a 10-minute yap session like last time, I redo the recording. And back here is just, like, the little reset button. Like, I hit that button up there. It teleports the block to the top left and resets all the switches to their initial state, just for, like, testing purposes in case something breaks, so I don't have to, like, manually reset everything, because that is a pain. But I think that is about all I wanted to cover. I don't think I'm going to be doing a 4x4 anytime near, just because, like, it's not difficult to do whenever you have it down, it's just very tedious, because, like, think of it this way, right? The numbers, I just got a Discord ping. So look, if you have a 1x1 area, right? You can't move anywhere in any direction. So for that, you'd have 0 switches. If you have a 2x2, you can move 2 places in any direction. So you can either move, like if you're going right, you can go to the top right or bottom right, which means you'd have 2 switches. For a 3x3, you can move 6 spaces in any direction. So you would have 6 switches. And it just keeps going up exponentially like that. It increases by 2 every time. So you start with 0 switches. My phone went off. You start with 0 switches, and then you add 2. And then you add 4, and then you'd add 6, and then you'd add 8, and then you'd add 10, and it just keeps going like that. It keeps increasing by 2 for every number you add on. And so for that, it is going to get very annoying very fast. I should have went to Do Not Disturb because I keep getting Discord pings. That is not on your end, it is on my end. Deeply apologize for that. But yeah, I think that's about all I wanted to show. I'm sorry if my videos are boring. Quick little jump in from the editing room before I keep yapping to the end of the video. If you guys are like interested in like me putting background music or something in the video, I don't know, some of that like royalty free Kevin McLeod, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, I'm so sorry. If you want me to throw some of that in there, maybe make the stuff a little less boring, a little more attention gaining, you know, say something. I'm open to any and all suggestions, really. I just kind of like, I go into this completely blind. Alright, back to it. A lot of this stuff makes sense to me. I try my best to make it make sense to those who don't understand it. Sometimes it's not the most interesting, but if you're into this stuff, you might find it pretty interesting. I find it pretty interesting. My niche little interest. Maybe not niche. I really don't know. Like I said, I don't have a script. I just read all this stuff. Anyways, that's about it. If you have any suggestions for crap for me to build, leave it in the comments. There's a good chance, because I don't get many comments to ask me to build stuff, that if you leave a suggestion, I'll probably try to build it, and you might see it in a video. Thanks for watching, thanks for sticking around. Yep, guess that's all. See ya. Poof, skadoodle, yep.